Morning. Most days I wake up at 6:30 with the dogs. We cuddle in bed for a while and then I quietly leave the bedroom to let everyone sleep a little while longer. I try to practice yoga and meditation for 30 minutes first thing in the morning. I started practicing yoga every day a while back and it has become an important part of my morning routine. I've noticed that my mornings set the tone for the rest of the day, so spending them mindfully helps me feel grounded while working as well as in my creative practice. Towards the end of my practice, I always try to focus on my breath for a while. I've noticed that focusing on my breathing and meditating really helps me throughout the day. This practice truly trickles into everything I do. Afterwards, I get ready for the day and make myself some tea and breakfast. I'm definitely not one of those people that can go without breakfast. I would be very grumpy if I didn't eat in the morning. My mom actually sends me a package from the Netherlands twice a year, and she includes some of my favorite food items as well as my favorite tea. Drinking it in the morning has become something I really look forward to. It makes me feel connected to my family. Every tea bag comes with a question, and this one says, "What would you have loved to have learned in school?" The pups get their breakfast at 7:30 every morning. They get very excited. They both love to eat. I think there is nothing quite like spending time with your dogs. They are usually with me all day. I try to start working by 8 o'clock every day. I usually prefer to get difficult tasks done in the morning. During this time, I work on my day job as well as art-related things if I can. I feel very fortunate that I can create my own schedule. I realized I actually haven't talked much about my day job. I manage social media accounts for several businesses, and I also do some occasional graphic design and video editing, and I really love it. I get to work with my husband and be with the dogs during the day, and I have a lot of freedom when it comes to scheduling work time or working on my art. Some days, like today, I work until 12, while other days I work for 10 hours or I only work at night. If I finish my work tasks for the day, I will usually work on some art-related things. Right now, I'm working on creating a Skillshare class, which has taken up a lot of my time, though I also use this time to take classes myself or answer art-related emails and questions or plan a future painting. I take the dogs outside several times a day, but I try to spend some extra time with them in the afternoon. It's been so interesting moving from the Netherlands to the US. The seasons are so different here. It is January and yet it is so warm outside. We have lots of big trees in our yard and the leaves have been falling, which feels a little extra magical. We moved into this beautiful home in April last year and it has been wonderful to be able to spend so much time outside. Sophie has been enjoying the sunshine too. After taking the pups back inside, I collect my things and I head out to my studio. I always look forward to coming here and spending time creating and painting. I usually turn on some music when I get here and start setting up my palette. I've started to really enjoy the whole process of creating, including setting up and cleaning up afterwards. It feels peaceful and familiar by now. I've always been someone who loves routine and finds a lot of comfort in everyday tasks. For me, that does also mean that I sometimes struggle with change or trying new things or anything unfamiliar, really. Creating art and sharing it with other people felt so intimidating, and making the decision to pursue art was really scary. At times, it felt like I was slowly moving away from all the things that felt familiar and safe. But I've learned that there's so much beauty and growth to be found in discomfort. I'm still trying to find the balance between pushing myself outside of my comfort zone as well as going with the flow and letting things play out the way that they are supposed to. I feel I'm at a good place with my creative practice right now. I've found ways of laying down paint that feel more intuitive, and I'm starting to identify my color palette. I feel at peace with creativity rather than at war with it like I did a couple months ago. I'm watching the paintings unfold in front of me rather than trying to force them in a certain direction. This painting has been sitting in my studio for a good couple of months. At the time, I wasn't sure how to continue, so I just let it rest and worked on other things, but I felt drawn to keep working on it now, so here we are. For this painting, I used some of my favorite colors, some beautiful dark greens, blues, grays, and turquoise. I also let go and tried not to be so tight and controlled, and actually really loved the outcome. Something interesting that's been happening in my creative practice lately is that there will be a point in a painting where I drop my reference and reflect on what the painting needs rather than trying to convey the picture exactly the way it is in real life. For this painting, I decided to add a river, despite there not being any water in my source. Giving myself the space to connect with my intuition has helped me to stop overthinking so much and allow myself to try something different. I'm not trying to be too poetic here, but I feel like the mountains represent worry and doubt and overthinking, while the water represents my creativity slowly flowing towards me. I've noticed that when I let go and forget the world around me while I paint, the painting truly starts coming to life. Skill-wise, this may not be the best painting I've ever created, but it does hold a lot of meaning for me. As I got further into the painting process, I decided to push the mountains back a little and make them lighter and more foggy. I added some pink to the sky and softened the foreground. I remember painting my first landscape during the mastery program, and at the time I didn't enjoy creating it. I even remember saying that I probably wouldn't be a landscape painter, but looking back, we tried a technique that didn't really suit me, and I felt really overwhelmed with perfectionism and wanting to accurately represent the image that I'd been provided. Creating so many paintings over the last couple of years has taught me so much, and I'm not just talking about painting skills, but more so about life. I have a tendency to overthink and worry, and it holds me back in a lot of ways. Over the last couple of months, I started structuring my days differently and tried to focus on the things that matter. I developed practices and routines that help me stay aligned with how I want to feel throughout the day and what I would like to achieve, and this has helped me so much to feel more at peace and also to feel much more capable. I'm so excited to see what this year will bring. I've had a lot of messages saying that you really enjoy me talking over my painting process, so I hope you enjoyed this little reflection. Eventually, I will make a video about my current painting process and talk about what I do and why I do it. I've received a lot of messages asking me to share a more slowed down version, so it's easier to see the process and the brush strokes, so that will also be here soon. If you have anything in particular you would like to see me create or something you would like me to talk about, I would love to hear. I also just want to say thank you for being so welcoming and wonderful, and thank you for spending the day with me. It was definitely a little strange to set up a camera and crawl back in bed or film my yoga practice, but this video also feels really special to me. There's so much peace in our daily routines, and it felt really special to share them with you. So thank you for being here.